Hello and welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit, well, a Legos. I'm here to build a fake-ass Lego set. I'm here to make some bricks into something and to hang out with all of you. And I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can throw those emotes in the chat. Let the people know that you don't see pre-roll ads that you get, or ads during the stream, that you get cool emotes. That you're supporting me financially, which I appreciate. If you're not yet a subscriber, you can say hi or use other people's emotes. Or if you feel like being a lurker, it's a weird thing that you can do, which is you don't have to say anything. You can just hang out, and that's also okay. We're also going to throw the Bear Cave Lego site and Tier 2 blue emote in the chat to thank Aristofan for subscribing at Tier 2 and being a subscriber for a total of 61 months. Thank you so much, Aristofan. That's an unrealistically high number of months. Like, if you were like, yeah, 61 months, you know, a real number, I'd be like, I don't know about that. But hello to Lashbrook and Ghostval and Mr. Bob and Aristofan, of course. Thank you very much. Speaking of subscribers, I should say, that we are currently at 40 out of 50. And you're like, that's not close, Pat. You're right, it isn't. But we are on that grind because I'll say this. I feel like people are sleeping on the fact that it's September and that if you are not currently a subscriber, you could save money on it. And it's money out of Twitch's pocket. It ain't money out of mine. Jeff Bezos is picking up that difference. Team Fight Tactics are picking up that difference, whatever. But I'm not picking up that difference. So you're not costing me a dime if you wanted to subscribe. And then starting tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern until the end of the month, you can save money on a gift sub. So I'm just letting you know. I'm doing this for you. I want you to know that you can save money. I don't care if you switch to Geico or not, but you can save money this way. What are we doing? I got this fake-ass Delorean kit. A friend of mine sent me $20 on Venmo with a note that said, hey, buy that Delorean on your wish list, because they don't like to use Amazon. So I did, and now I'm building it. And here's the partially assembled piece. There was a part here we left with me trying to figure out this back piece. I figured it out. I had assembled it a little wrong, and so I fixed that. But yeah, I'm working on this thing. I'm going to finish it tonight. It's going to look like the Back to the Future DeLorean. It will be a Return to Future DeLorean from UFOI, who are, as far as I can tell, making this stuff. I mean, all of this feels bad. The plastic feels bad. There's only been one picture in here where the piece I got is a different color from what they said. The gear shifter here, the base of the gear shifter is gray and it should be black. And then their idea of what a clear piece looks like is a little off. And I was like, I don't quite understand what's going on there. But that's where we're at. And it's gonna work out great. We're gonna finish that up. It's Manga Monday. I have 2 manga to talk to you about tonight because I only have 1 episode of anime because the new season starts on Thursday, but some of the old season hasn't ended. So we're only on episode 9 of Zom 100, which is wild. So we'll talk about that. And then I got 2 manga. Only one of those 2 is an isekai. But both of those are action. I'm going to double check. I'm pretty sure I picked one that was... Yes. Both of them involve reincarnation, and only one of them is an isekai. So there you go. You know what I'm reading. You know what I like to read. I'm going to retweet my tweet, see if we can get a few more friends to join us tonight, because that would be great. And then we'll see what people are saying here. Moon Doggy Dog is like, I was curious of the price difference between on and off brand Lego, but gosh dang, Lego's SEO is too good. I can't find the off brand stuff. And that's pretty true. I mean, like, you know, this thing was $20. That seems to be the going rate for this kind of nonsense. Anyway, let's go to the overhead. There's the overhead. You can see currently 40 subscribers out of 50. The goal is 50. We've got our partially assembled DeLorean from Return to Future. We've got parts of the back here because we're going to be continuing to work on this. And then we'll start with a very short one. Most of tonight's topics in the first hour at least are, I know what we're going to talk about. There's a big thing to chat about. We'll get into that. But we can start with just a little blip. We're not going to do much wrestle talk tonight, but a little bit of a blip of some... we'll get a little bit here. Eddie Kingston at some point renewed his contract. We don't know when, but he's got 4 years left on it. Now, we don't know how long his contract was. We don't know when it was expiring. We know that he joined in, so he came in 2020, in July, and it's believed that whereas some wrestlers who came and showed up for Cody Rhodes' Open Challenge to people outside the company, it is believed that he actually signed then, and it wasn't just a one-off appearance. It was part of a larger thing. So we don't know. We don't know when he signed the renewal. His quote on it is very fun because he's Eddie Kingston and he was in character in this, but also Eddie's character is just Eddie. If you notice, you haven't heard anything about me with a contract because I did my shit on the low. My thing was coming up. I got 4 more years. I'm straight. No one needs to know how much. No one needs to know how long. I got my fucking shit. I got my shit, and I'm going to be there for a minute because there is nowhere else I want to be. Which, yeah, man, he seems to be doing well. And now he is the Ring of Honor World Champion, which is also rad as fuck. We're all very pleased with Eddie. So this piece here, which you know regularly from Lego builds as often lasers, in this case appears to be dual exhaust. So we will put in the dual exhaust here. But yeah, that was a small little wrestle thing because I just want to talk about. I just want to be proud of my boy Eddie Kingston. So I don't know exactly the first time that I saw Eddie Kingston wrestle. I believe it was 2003 because Eddie was an early member of Chikara. And I know that I first started seeing Chikara in 2003. They had existed in 2002. Before that, I did not see them in their first year. It wasn't a full year. But I did see them a lot in the early days in 2003. So I believe that I have been seeing Eddie Kingston wrestle for 20 years. Much of it live, now a lot of it on television. Last year, when I went to New York for a long week to go and do some meetings and some hangouts and stuff like that, I did spend a little bit of time. I did spend one night at an indie wrestling show and saw Eddie wrestle. Again, I should point out here, they want a clear piece. I don't know. I'm going to zoom in. Hey, Lord Crashton, welcome. So you can see here, that's what they mean by clear. That looks like white. That looks like a white piece there, not a clear piece. But they do want clear because there are no white 1x1s. Or ones. Whoa, too far. And too far. So so some of these colors don't quite match up right, which is annoying. Ooh, and I only see. Ooh. It says I need 3 of these, but I only see 2 of them in here. So did I use one of these somewhere else? Or am I missing a piece? I would be really bummed if I was missing a piece on this kit. That would be frustrating. It's certainly possible. Yeah. Huh. This thing might be missing pieces. Because I want 2 of these. I'll look around. But this thing might be missing a brick, which would be very frustrating. Put that there. I need two of that. I need four of these. I need two of the clears, two of those. I need two of these. And then it says it needs three of these. And I only have two. So let me quickly just really separate all of these parts looking for it. It's possible to do it without it because it's going to be on here. And this will take three. So I could just have an empty spot on here. So I could do it like that, which I don't like the idea of. But I could do that. Huh. Yeah, I don't see it in a different color. I'm going to really quickly just feel under here. Nope, didn't slide anywhere. Well, that's really shitty. That sucks. There is just we've got our first missing piece. I can dig around in my parts to do it later. I'm not going to do it now. I'm just going to be annoyed that there is a missing part on this build. It's just shitty. That's all there is to say. Thankfully, it does not appear to be a part that is going to be a nightmare. So, you probably have heard of this. News came out last night, but we can certainly still talk about it today, of course, because we have been covering Aristfan. No worries at all. It's okay. It's mostly just annoying more than it is like deal breaking or kit breaking. It's just an annoying thing that we're missing a part here, but we'll make do. We'll make it work. Hopefully that's it. Hopefully that's the only part missing, because it seems like we can get away with that being missing, where we would not be able to get away with it in a different kit, or a different piece. And I can also dig around. I think this and other Lego should work out okay together. I'm not 100% sure. I can take this out here. I have a Lego piece over here. How do these snap together? Do they fit? Yeah, they seem to fit okay. So I can always try to dig out a piece and make that work. We'll see. So the big news is that the SAG-AFTRA strike remains while the Writers Guild strike is going to vote. And I'll be clear about this. I'll say it again when people come in while we're talking about it in case that happens. I am not here telling you that the Writers Guild strike is over and done with. I am saying they have reached a tentative agreement. And a tentative agreement needs to go to a vote. It needs to be ratified by the guild. But certain things are made with the assumption that it's going to go through. We'll talk about the details of that, but I do want to just say, because of the tentative agreement, the PWGA health coverage that was set to expire on the 1st will be extended until the end of the year. And that also applies to people who are writers who have lost their COBRA eligibility. So that is huge. That is very good. Now, what are the details of this tentative agreement? We don't know. There are a couple things we know. We know that in 2008, the Writers Guild email that went out, the notice that went out to their members was, well, we didn't get everything we wanted, but we worked hard, and I'm proud of the work we did, and thank you all so much. And this email was, we have reached a tentative agreement on a new 2023 MBA, which is to say an agreement in the principle on all deal points subject to drafting final contract language. So we still got to get the final stuff. What we have won in this contract, more particularly everything we have gained since May 2nd, is due to the willingness of their membership to exercise power, 146 days. We can say with great pride, this deal is exceptional with meaningful gains and protections for writers in every sector of membership. And the joint statement that went out from the Um, the joint statement that went out from the studios is, we have reached a tentative agreement with the Writers Guild of America. They do, John. Hi, John. Yeah, so the studios aren't really saying anything because they don't want to appear weak in front of their shareholders. So we're missing a piece here. These could flop around because of it. I don't know if this piece that's missing was essential, or it would have been, or if it's okay it's missing. It's weird that there's just going to be a hole in the back of our build, but yeah, you can kind of see it in the light there. But whatever, we'll deal with it. When is Q3 reports due? Most people are trying to short sell off stuck in the meantime. Yeah, so there's a lot of reasons why people are like, oh, they're downplaying. You know, the studios aren't going to say anything. It's very clear that this is a pretty good deal. So you won't hear much from the Writers Guild of America as these things happen. They will most likely respond to things. Thank you, Raiders. Welcome, Torgo, 1985, and Raiders. Hi, I'm Pat Baer. I'll go to this camera for a moment. Hello, I'm Pat Baer. I build model kits and Lego sets, and in this case, knockoff, not real Lego sets. And hit the follow button if you'd like. I'm trying to get to 2,000 followers. We're at 1987, only 2 more than Torgo here. But the goal is to get to 2,000 followers. 2,000 subscribers would be different. That would be way more than I have, which is currently 40. But hello and welcome. I hope you enjoy this Delorean from Return to Future. That's what it says on the box. And the instructions, Return to Future DeLorean building car. I bought this on Amazon. It's missing one piece so far, and I don't know how many more it'll be missing. It's a thing that exists. We have previously built something from a Mold King. Mold King is another. This is UFOI. Dr. Emmett Green. Yeah. Yes. I'm sorry. It's Mr. Emmett Green. Thank you. Mr. Emmett Green, Bachelor of Science. He's got a BS. So before we got the raid coming in, should say, we'll back up. Yeah, he never got his doctorate. He got into the field instead of continuing further education. I should back up a little bit before the raid. We were talking about the end of the writers' strike. The Writers Guild of America has come to a tentative agreement with the studios, which is fantastic. I should also say, I am going to talk about this next thing, understanding that people have lost their jobs, and that's a bummer. But there is one reason why we're going to talk about it. Starz announced that 3 of their shows will be ending and will not get renewed seasons. And one show that started filming before the strike, but it was only a couple episodes into filming, the Venery of Samantha Bird has been scrapped. They're just decided to cancel that. And then the other shows are Heels, Run the World, and Blind Spotting. And they all finished their second season and will not be renewed. Now, is that strike related? Certainly possible. Could it be possible that any of those shows would have not gotten a third season anyway without the strike? Totally possible as well. Momentum is a thing, but also studios in general are totally willing to invest a lot of time, money, and effort into a thing just to be like, yeah, well, you know, we crunched the numbers and we don't need to care about it. We can consider this one a loss. Apparently, Venery of Samantha Bird had only gotten 2 episodes filmed. Sorry, pardon me. Only 2 episodes were left to shoot of their season order. So I don't know how many orders that was, but yeah. Now, Why am I talking about this, Pat? Why would I go from talking about the Writers Guild coming to a tentative agreement that, of course, needs final work done, and then also needs to be ratified and all of that by the union members? Why would I talk about that and then some shows that were canceled by Stars? Obviously, it sucks that people are out of work. That will have to find new work. Writers that worked on those shows that were striking are now going to have already been in a tough position. They will continue to be in a tough position. We feel for them, of course. The thing that I'm going to mention here about that is that Heels, the lead of Heels that played Jack Spade, that is an actor by the name of Stephen Amell. Stephen Amell will later claim that his comments were taken out of context. They weren't. Stephen Amell thinks that strike action is stupid. Now, does that make Stephen Amell a scab? No, it doesn't. By the letter of the law, the letter of rule, Stephen Amell is not a scab. Stephen Amell is a dumbass. Just ask any cast member or crew member on his previous works, and they'll let you know. So he's definitely a jerk and a dumbass. But is he a scab? No. But he did talk shit about unions and union effort and found it to be unnecessary. Which is very funny because he's currently an out-of-work actor. And he could certainly benefit from the Writers Guild of America and the Screen Actors Guild and AFTRA. So technically, Stephen Amell is now an unemployed actor who is still on strike because, SAG-AFTRA is still on strike. Important to remember that they have not reached a deal yet. And in fact, there's some other stuff. Stephen the Scab Amell promoted his show during the strike and then got it canceled. Yes, he still did. So the rules weren't fully and wholly clear. Oh, Jam just subscribed with Prime. That's 68 months. That's so many months. Jam, next month we're fucking partying, my dude. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego, the site, the tier 2 blue emote in the chat, and thank Jam so much for that. 68 months is fucking wild. Thank you for using your Prime. That's just unbelievably cool. We're back up to 41 on the road to 50. Appreciate you very much. That's just a wild, big old number. Thank you, Jam. Right around the beginning of the strike, people were like, well, what about San Diego Comic-Con? Now, writers and actors have different requirements for their different guilds. Writers could still promote work that had been completed. They couldn't promote future work, especially future work that was going to be shot when they weren't there. But previous work that had been finished, like a movie was coming out, they wrote on that movie, they could promote that. It felt weird, but that was the rule. And actors were basically, told by the union, you're on strike, you don't promote anything. And then that did include going to conventions. But then it was brought up. Well, is that doing a panel about the thing that you're on? Yes. Is that making an appearance at the convention and doing a meet and greet or signings? No. Unless you're doing it specifically to sell copies of a thing or promote a thing that is struck. Okay. Well, you can just go to the convention then. Well, yeah, you can, but maybe don't. Oh, well, Stephen Amell just fucking did it anyway and then talked shit about unions. And now his show is canceled. And again, I feel for the crew. I feel for the writers, for the actors, the people that have looked to do that show and worked very hard on it. I certainly feel for them. I hope that people land on their feet. But also, haha, Stephen Amell. And then also, minorly, haha, CM Punk, who is also a cast member on that show. Haha, CM Punk. Ha ha ha. That makes me laugh, and I don't feel bad about that. I don't feel great about it. I don't feel bad about it. This is not attached well. I have a feeling these doors, with these DeLorean-ass doors, will probably give me some pause and some trouble as I install them. I'll have to be careful when I do the other one, which we're going to do right now. We're going to jump over to the other one. Just a second here. I do the piece there that has cap. Whoops. So yeah, he fucked around and found out in traditional holiday fashion. Indeed. So, we're very happy for our writers. We're hopeful that the Screen Actors Guild will be able to come to a tentative agreement as well. That writers who, especially as they're ready, hey, guess what? Writers aren't going back to the office. There still is the contracts have to be actually drawn up and finalized. The language has to be finalized. And then it has to go to a vote. And has to be ratified. And people are hoping that it will be ratified in a timely manner, but that takes time. The writers are still going to show up for actors. Union solidarity is one of the reasons why the Writers Guild in 2008 suffered the way it did. Had a deal that wasn't really what they wanted. Had holes in it. You could say, like Future thought, well, new media, they didn't get new media right. They didn't have the leverage they needed to make new media work for them. It was a tough situation. They did hope, one would hope their best. It wasn't enough. Now they're in a stronger position, and part of that is because of solidarity among many, many people, including unions. So we'll see a lot of writers still on strike, supporting the Screen Actors Guild and AFTRA, which is great, and good luck to all of them as they continue to do that. Which includes the vote that is ending tonight, or it just ended, I believe, on if the SAG AFTRA also will be on strike with the collective, small collective of video game companies that do union contracts. We talked about that earlier. This is not all video games. This is just video games from certain companies and a few companies that do work. So the thing that sucks is, like, you got a few companies, big names, you know who they are, but there's a couple companies that are like the go-betweens between smaller companies and the SAG-AFTRA. And that's where things get complicated, because we're not, we as just people out there, just out and about doing our thing, like, I don't have answers for you about, like, what all of the video games, right? Because I will do my fucking damnedest to not cover video games that are struck work, as I have not covered movies or TV shows that are struck work. Not that I watch a lot of them anyway, but I haven't been covering them. So I would like to not cover struck work when it comes to video games. But until this strike authorization happens, I don't have that information. Eventually I will, and I'll be able to tell you. We are going back to this kit. Requires a few pieces that are not done in the traditional casting of Lego, this fake-ass Lego, however they're casting these, and instead are done on these sprues. I've never seen, this before. I don't fucking get it. I don't understand why these are here like this. We had to do 2 of these pieces before, and now we got 2 more here to do. It's this part here. So we got 2 more of those. We did 2 before. I've never needed in Lego, or the one time we did fake Lego, I've never in the past needed snippers for this, but we do need that. So I gotta pull these out here. It's very strange. I think these are the only ones we need. I don't think we need any of these others. Why are they on here? And why were they, even if they were cast, where they were like not separated and put in with the other ones? I don't know. If you missed the last stream where I started this kit, I did inform people that there were numbered bags that came with this kit. But they're not in a build order. The first step is take them all out of the bags. The numbers, I think, are for them, not for us. But yeah, so now I have, they're down here and here, these little pieces sticking out that will be used in some way, and I'm not quite sure how, but we'll find out when the time comes. And of course, there was the one missing piece, but this seems to be doing okay without it. So yeah, that's the strike stuff. That was what I wanted to chat about there. We of course are thrilled for the Writers Guild of America. We are certainly hopeful that as I said, insurance keeps going. If people still need support, there was a couple big donations that were just made, which is great. I believe Drew Carey is still buying lunch for Writers Guild until the contracts are ratified. I believe that did not end. That he is still doing that for strikers. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that to be the case. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, sounds like good steps. Sounds that they seem pleased with the deal. Again, they're not gonna leak a bunch of stuff. You're only gonna hear stuff from you're only gonna read stuff in Deadline and Variety, which was leaked, and all of that. And it'll still, of course, lean a little bit too much / all the way at like, oh, well, so glad they finally decided to play ball and all kinds of stuff like that. You'll read that, and you'll hear some, you'll see some thick pieces here and there, I'm sure, from people who are like, this strike shouldn't have lasted as long as it did, and clearly, this and this and all that other stuff. Thank God the studio heads were so generous. You'll hear all kinds of fucking bullshit about that, but at the end of the day, a deal's a deal. Let's see. I did not watch the trailer for season 7 of Rick and Morty, but I am told and to believe. We're just hitting some stuff I'm seeing in Kotaku right now. I'm told and if accurate, Justin Roiland's voice has been, he's been replaced on the show, and we don't know who those are because there haven't been credits yet, but that's happening. These are I don't know. This is going to be some quick hits that we chat about here. I don't have like a lot to say about a lot of these stories. Maybe there'll be some conversation that comes up in these. But right now, I don't have anything major to say. Oh, I do think I did this wrong. Looking at this now, yes, these need to be in more. So I'm going to take this up so I can see better. These are not on the gray. We'll go back to where they were supposed to be. Where did I put those in? Yes, these are supposed to be up higher. I'm glad I noticed this now. Of course, we do have the fake-ass brick separator, so we can certainly use that if we need to, but I'm glad I noticed this now and not later, because that could have been frustrating. And it would have been frustrating to Future Pat. I'm just saving Future Pat a little bit more effort. Hey, if you buy the Persona 3 Portable Physical Edition, you get a gun. That's fun. You get the Invoker. You may remember Persona 3 as the game where you, to go to the other dimension, you gotta pop yourself. Pre-order the Persona 3 Portable SEES Edition and physical copies of... so you pre-orders. Role-playing game Remastered 3 Portable and 4 Golden are getting physical releases through limited run. We knew that. It's not quite going to another dimension, but I don't want to go to the nitty-gritty of Persona 3. Yes, I'm making vast generalizations of it, but the Evoker, you got to invoke so you can use your personas. It's not the Midnight Channel. It's you shoot yourself with an Evoker, which is a non-lethal spiritual weapon. It's not a gun. You shoot yourself in the head with a fucking gun to call out your personas. Instead of just like having a tarot card or whatever, you got to get your gun out. And it is apparently it's encased in a shadow box, which is fun. Pre-order start the 29th for the physical edition of Persona 3 Portable for this wild version. The MC just walks into that room, takes the Evoker, and pulls the trigger without a second thought. Yes. I don't remember every moment of that game, but I do remember that. It's been a while. I played a lot of Fez, but it's been a hot minute. That's a $200 edition, folks. Comes with a physical copy on a platform of your choice, a steelbook case, an armband from the SES, which is your club, and a soundtrack, a patch. The standard copies are $35 each. None of the physical versions, including the collector's edition and deluxe, have purchase limits on them. The pre-orders are set to close on the 12th. This is from this right up here. Yeah, you're out. I understand. I hear you. You got to be really selective with this stuff. Okay, so that goes there. That goes there. This goes here. Is there supposed to be empty space? I guess there's just supposed. No. Okay, that goes there. So I know that goes there, which we did. That goes there. This goes here. These go there. And then these go on here. There should be a drop down. Okay, so it's not even. All right. This is, I'm doing my best. I'm doing my fucking best with this, but some of these things, there's some gaps in parts of this car because they're taking, squares and rectangles and trying to make it into a 3D dimensional shape that has curves, and everybody's just trying their fucking best. So, I'm not trying to be too hypercritical on this, but occasionally it's just like, I don't know what you fucking want from me, Delorean. Imagine what happens if the special edition goes through the mail system. Well, that's why it's in a steelbook case, it's in a glass case, or probably plexiglass, but it's boxed. It's probably not great. Maybe you don't need an evoker. It does look like a space weapon, but maybe you don't need it. Maybe you don't need it, folks. Maybe you can do without it. Built this twice here. I need one of these and one of these. We're running out of parts because we're running out of build on this thing. I got a cool model kit to build thanks to Aristofan. Picking up this cool model felt the Sturm. We'll be starting that because that came off my wish list. So of course that becomes the next thing that we build. We gotta, and that's ready to go, but because this won't take the whole stream. But I knew it would be finished again. I didn't want to say I knew it would take most of the stream, so I didn't want to say like, oh, we're definitely going to get to the next thing. So this goes here, and then we need two of these things. Go here, nice. It does look like the. I'll say this, build quality. Meh. Approach, like design of it, you're pretty good. This is looking like the DeLorean. Like it's looking like what it should be. It's pretty fucking decent representation of the Back to the Future DeLorean. Like this is not a good system. Like these none of these parts feel good. it's missing a piece. You know, it's not like I'm not out here trying to talk this thing up and saying that like this rules. Like it doesn't rule. But I'm not mad at it yet. Maybe I'll get mad at it. But right now I'm not mad at it. All right, so this goes here. And then these two go here. And then this goes one above it. And this goes one there. Yeah, because that without lines, right? Okay. Let's see. Other things from Kotaku, looking through Kotaku News. There's a big hack, apparently, on Sony. There's some ransomware going on. I think they might have flown too close to the sun. It feels like dealing with an international company. So ransom.vc. I think you might have, I think you might have fucked up. I don't know. Sony feels like a big enough company to not, like, yeah, shit happens to them, but also, like, shit's already happened to them. Like, I think they're gonna be pissed off. Like, I don't think this was a great, I don't think you're gonna get your ransom, is what I'm saying. I just don't think you're gonna get your ransom from them. I don't think it's gonna work out the way you thought it was. That's my guess. The word I saw was it was probably not real or that substantive. Yeah, it probably isn't. I mean, their site is full of jokes, and they're like, oh, you know, well, you help us. We can help you with your back end issues or whatever. Like, it probably doesn't have a lot of. There's not a lot of a meat on those bones there. But it's still like, that feels like that feels like maybe not the company that is going to be like, very incredible jokes. Like, maybe not. This kid has a real problem with asking you to connect things that by putting any pressure on it are just going to fuck up. So you kind of have to remove a piece, put this new piece on, put it back together. That seems weird. That's poor. That's a poor design. Like this part should have come in before I put this on. Like, why did I wait? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Because otherwise it just wants to pop out. And I'm like, well, that ain't good. Oh, finally, we're going to use the knockoff lightsaber part. That's always fun. And we need 6 of these. 3, 4, 5. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 1 extra. Looks like that's good. We want some extras. So we got to do 3 on each here. Oops. Oh. Let's see. Let's see here. Anecdotally, I can tell you that multiple people I know who were like trying to promote Payday 3 streams, like every single one of them were like, we're playing Payday 2 today. Because Payday 3 just seems to be real borked. So a lot of people are just like, we're not going to just like stand around trying to get in. There was a statement there about the matchmaking issues. Starbreeze is basically like unforeseen error, which is like, obviously I'm not saying it's the same game just again, but it is their 3rd game. Less dependent, it's looking for ways to make hits always online, less dependent on online servers. It's most likely check-ins, matchmaking errors, yeah. Also, I am gonna share an image here because it's kind of incredible. You may have seen this image before, but I'm gonna save it and share it because it is, to me, incredibly funny and cool. I should have saved this earlier. My apologies for not saving it before. Put that there. I gotta go over here. I gotta add an image because I can't just drag. Used to be able to drag, can't drag. In OBS, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Go over to desktop. Add this image. Here it is. Okay. Matchmaking error. Matchmaking error. It's the matchmaking error. Matchmaking error. I don't know if that was worth all of that, but it made me laugh a ton when I saw that out there. It's just like, oh, okay, sure. God, that's just fucking really funny to me. Matchmaking error. Matchmaking error. But yeah, that game sounds borked as fuck. That's a shame. Somebody asked me about this, if I was going to be checking out the next scaffolding game. And the answer is no. I am not planning to play that game. So, I have not received code from Strange Scaffold's next game. El Paso Elsewhere, which is their next game, which is their kind of like Max Payne slow down shooter with a story where you are your lover is going to destroy the world, and you are going to stop that, and which seems very cool. I have not received code for that game. I have received code for every other game made by those folks. They did not reach out about this one, which is okay, because I don't play shooters on stream, like, ever. So I think it's totally okay. I think that's totally okay that I am not that I'm not receiving code from that. Who knows? It still might happen, but as of now, I have not. And I think they should. There's so much buzz about that game. They should be focusing on bigger people than me. I was very happy to play poker on a boat with ska music in the background, and to go around an airport that was run by dogs, built by aliens, currently run by dogs. I'm more than happy to goof around in those worlds, and I think it's okay if I'm not being bad at a shooter. I did not play the organ trader, the space body organ trader game. I did not play that. That did not appeal to me. But I have played all their other titles, so we'll see. Who knows? We got these hoses. We're attaching these hoses. Nothing really else to say there. Gotta put these hoses here. And then tuck this around like that. Yep, there we go. Exhaust. This Lego set did not, or this knockoff Lego set did not include a flux capacitor. If this, I am sure the actual Back to the Future, because there's for the 3 movies, they're there. The actual Lego sets, I am sure you have built the flux capacitor. At the very least, you put a sticker of that on there in the inside, even if you can't see it, because you know you need it to be there. This, I was not expecting Easter eggs in this build. That is not an Easter egg in this build. That, like, again, I was not expecting that, so I cannot be disappointed that it's not there. Would it have been cool? Oh, yeah, it would have been fucking dope if that was in there. It's not. I'm okay with that. I think I'm okay with that. It would have been a pleasant surprise if that had been the case, but that is not the case. The real one had a light too, says Throttle Bottom. Yeah, hell yeah. That sounds dope. We have now run into the issue where, you know how there was missing a piece? Well, now it has slid these parts back because they're supposed to clip onto this. So I got to try to force these apart now. Do that. Oh, okay, so pull that with a spudger here. Not with a spudger, with a. So I gotta open this up a little bit here. Slide these around. All right, so now I'm going to, again, the build order on some of this leaves a lot to be desired here. So I'm just going to stretch that out. Then I have to put my finger there as I push this in here. Okay, great. And now I have to do the same on this side. Now, if this missing piece was in there, no problems. We're good. Since the missing piece is missing, some problems. Not great. Pull this out here. And then, of course, as I'm trying to fix this, I'm trying to not break anything else because this is a little bit of a house of cards. Again, because the build quality is not excellente. The build quality is fucking good enough, is what I've said, and I will stick by that statement. This is an okay build of a weird thing, but it was an experiment. I wanted to see. I would say Mold King is a better company than this company. Ufoy, Your Toy, Your Joy. Yes, I would take a... And in fact, I do have 2 other Mold King kits on my wish list, and I would build either of those. I build the other car from Initial D that's listed, and I would build the... They didn't even try to pretend it's a Batmobile, but they don't say Batman. I would build both of those pretty much in a heartbeat. Where is this? I don't know if I would. I don't think I would buy another Ufoy build here. All right. That just feels terrible. Yeah, it just feels bad. Feels bad, man. And then this piece has to go like this. It just appears to be decorative. Now we gotta get the wheels. Oh, I should say, we can remove this if we wanted to and just put on this piece. That's the only a little bit of nice about this kit, I would say, is that if you don't want the engine parts on the front, you don't need the engine parts on the front. You can just replace them with just the flat, and I don't hate that. I think that's pretty neat. That is our one hidden thing, and also the doors do fold up, and I don't take that for granted. I could totally see a world where they didn't make it so these fold up and down, and you were just stuck with them. Although, they don't really love the windshield, but yeah, they do pop up. So I guess that's nice. You could put a minifig in there. A Lego minifig would fit. It's not designed for 2 minifigs, so you would put them in a dead center, and the steering wheel and shifter would be in the wrong position. So I wouldn't put a minifig in here, but you could. One theoretically could fit. I believe the roof is tall enough that one could fit in there. But they don't make it so the roof is removable, so you can just pop one in there because of the doors. Not that I have appropriate ones for there anyway, but yeah. So fold those up. Like there's something coming in there. And we'll, of course, get a photo of both versions. I will take this top part off, even though I wouldn't. If I was going to display this, which I have no interest in displaying it, if I was going to display this, I would not I would certainly have it like this. I wouldn't change it up. But oh, yes, you can see. It does look like the photo. I will give it that. Oh, this piece popped off again. Great, as I said. The build quality on this is not great. I would describe it as I guess, yeah, I'll describe it. While this is off, I guess I'll pop this out. Yeah, you just have to fucking really disassemble it. It's like, I was going to swap these out, but it takes a little while, so I won't. All right, we'll do the cool version. Then we'll fold these down. Pop this off. They make it so you're just like, oh, you just take this piece off and you can swap it in and out. It's like, not really. You really can't do that easily. All right, so then we can do this. We can do this. I will say this. It's convoluted to do. It's annoying to do. It's not a turnkey to do. But it's kind of cool that you can make it more like a quote-unquote regular DeLorean with all the extra nonsense. That's kind of cool. And that has been the UFOI Return to Future DeLorean, not Lego knockoff. It's about what I expected. One missing piece, which I can email customer service at amazonbricks.com. Customer_service at amazonbricks.com. Again, I'm sure Amazon loves that they say they're trying to build an association between the two brands. And if I needed plastic drills or oil cans or wrenches, I have those now. I have 4 sets of all of these extra tools. Because they wanted these things and didn't want to snip them out. So I just got, hey, score, I got these extra weird shit that I don't need or want. Congratulations to your friend, Pat. Get all this shit the fuck out of here. Over there. We're going to take a pause to the cause, talk about ways you can support the channel, and then we're going to get into talking about some manga and some anime and then some video game stuff and stuff you're hanging out and doing. We got the Heindree Sturm. The Heindree Sturm. We've built the Heindree before, and now we're going to build the Sturm version, which has some cool weapons and such and cool colors. That was purchased off my Amazon wishlist by Aristofan. Thank you, Aristofan. Excited to start this up. We got some color pages here. There are some stickers, but not too many stickers, which is nice. There might be probably a few extra pieces here and there. This is not going to be a long build, and then we'll get back into regular building of other stuff. But yeah, this has got some cool weapons. It's got a fun shield. It's got shoulder mounted. The backpack has weapons on it. That's fun. This is going to be a fun little build. No polycaps, as is the way with Witch from Mercury high grades, which is rad as shit. And we'll get into that. Let me actually just go and update here. I might do a quick action here. We're going to change. We're going to change that. And then we're going to do Gunpla, Heindree, that's right, Heindree Sturm, not Strum, Heindree Sturm. So now we know what we're building. Got the Sturm. Hello. If you're currently a subscriber to the Build With Baer Workshop, please put your Bear Cave Lego Scythe, or if you're a Tier 2 subscriber, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Let the people know that this is the easiest way to support what I do here. I'm going to talk about ways you can support the channel. All the things I'm going to mention here are optional. You don't have to do any of these things. If you would like to, I would love it for you to do it. You're under no obligation to do these things, but if you want to support the channel, that sounds great. Subscribing is the easiest way to do that. You don't see ads. You don't. You get some cool emotes. It's simple. You're already here on Twitch. If you want to support the channel and what I do here, that is the way to do that. So thank you for people that are throwing them there. You could be like Aristovan and resub, or you could be like Jam, who used their Twitch Prime. You got Amazon Prime. Look at your Twitch. You get that token. You can use it on somebody. Use it on me. It is September, as we said before, so you could save money by being a subscriber. If that seems like a thing you'd like to do, that now's a great time to do that. And then you could gift a sub. You could join the gift sub leaderboard. Bits and coins are always appreciated on the cheerleader board, but if you want to gift a sub, we're trying to get to 50. We're currently at 41. That's fine. Still want to get to 50. Happy at 41. So if you want to become a subscriber, jump in. You could gift a sub. You can save money on a gift a sub starting tomorrow. But if you wanted to just gift a sub now, you could do that. Speaking of, I will say it again at the end of the stream. What are we doing tomorrow? We're doing some wrestling. We're going to watch some CPU versus CPU matches in WWE 2K23. I've got wrestlers from WWE that are currently released from WWE, but still in the video game. I've got characters from video games and comic books and cartoons and anime fighting for NXT titles, a bunch of stuff. I have lots of titles on the line. We'll see if Gaston, who I hate the fact that he is our NXT World Champion. I would love it for him to be defeated. We'll see if he fucking does. They're all pre-recorded, so we won't have any glitches within the game outside of just the game itself. And I have some cool new arenas to check out. User-created arenas, one of which is fucking gorgeous, and one of which is just fun. So check that out. That'll be tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Now, I'm going to talk about other ways you can support the channel that don't involve Twitch and see if any of these appeal to you. I have a Patreon, maybe $5 from Twitch, although you will save some money. 25% off $5. Maybe that's still too much. What about a $1 or a $3 tier on my Patreon? Or the $5 or the $10? Maybe that deal seems better for you. Then jump in on my Patreon. You could do that. That is another way to support me. You can go to my YouTube channel and subscribe to my YouTube for free, youtube.com/PatBear. While you're there, if you wanted to, you become a member. And members to that is just $2 a month. You get my Wednesday videos a day early because I have an ongoing project. Every year I pick a different project and do it every single Wednesday for that year. So you could get that video that's going out tomorrow to people. You can have them watch it tomorrow instead of having to wait till Wednesday or something. Those are all monthly ways to support me. You could also do a one-time donation if you were so inclined through my PayPal or Stream Elements or my Coffee. Everything I make through direct donations through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me out, through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund. And I take money out of that fund and I buy model kits. So if you would like to see, me be able to continue to buy nonsense, you can do that. The kit we're about to start, the Heindree Sturm, was purchased off my Amazon wish list. Thank you again, Aristofan, for doing that. And if you wanted to buy something, that would get a dedicated video for my YouTube channel, and then again, would jump the queue. Because I have other stuff in my backlog that I would be happy to build. I got a real grade in there. I've got a premium Bandai kit. I got some fun Lego. I'd love to get in there. But I can't. I have another kit for Witcher Mercury that came out this year. Can't do it because I got to build what was bought. So if you want to also have me wait on my wish list, you could get an inexpensive Lego kit, a knockoff Lego kit. We saw that before. The Witcher Mercury Demi Barding. We've built a Demi Trainer before. This is a Demi Barding from Witcher Mercury. That kit is currently $18. That's a good fucking price for Amazon. And then I've got, again, some stuff from Mold King, who are better, including the Mold King model car Bat sports car, because they didn't say Batmobile, but they do say RX-7 initial D. I don't know why one's cool and one's not, but that's the case. I got some model kits, inexpensive kits, expensive kits. The only kit from Iron Blooded Orphans in the high grade line that I have not built, the Sigrun, is the only one. That's it. I've looked it up. And then some model kits that are more expensive than that have free shipping or don't have free shipping. All kinds of different stuff. The full mechanics aerial is a good enough price. $56 is no laughing. That's not cheap, but that's still a good price. But I got a bunch of stuff there that I would be happy to build if you wanted to buy it. And some gear at the bottom because it's always nice to have a little gear. All right, is there anything else that I wanted to say about that? Nope. That's my Amazon wish list. See if there's something there you'd like to see me build. I would love it. I have a Throne wish list. Throne is my alternative to Amazon that I have because it's nice to have alternatives to Amazon. And then, of course, you can always go to USA Gundam Store. Buy a gift card at USA Gundam Store. They'll send you an email with the gift card code. Then you send me a whisper here on Twitch or a DM on Twitter because my DMs are open. And then I will use that gift card code to buy something from USA Gundam Store. And it most likely will be a Witch from Mercury kit. The most convoluted way to support me. Really, really is. Let's see. Is there anything else that I need to tell you? If you want to support me and not spend any money, you can just join my Discord. That way you know about stuff that I'm up to. You get to see stuff. You don't have to be on Twitter to find out what I'm doing. You can join my Discord if you want to do that. A couple video links for you to check out. Today, I put up a new episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club. It was recorded live this past Tuesday here on Twitch. It is my summer wrap-up fall preview. The fall season begins, I believe, Wednesday. The first show I'm watching is on Thursday. But the new season is starting. Old season. Some of the shows are still happening because they had a late start or they had a bunch of conflicts due to health or random TV nonsense or both. But Pat Baer's Anime Club rages on. Since the time of this recording, several shows that I didn't know if anyone was picking them up. They have been picked up. And at least one show that was not listed on any chart has gotten listed because Bullbuster, it was believed that Bullbuster was getting pushed till next year. It is not. Bullbuster is coming out. So that was not listed on any chart. I'm going to watch that because that seems to be a mech series. It's an original mech series. So I'll probably watch the first episode to at least see if it's something I want to check out. We'll talk more about anime in a minute. Baerly Rehearsed is the ongoing video series that I do every single Wednesday. My ongoing Wednesday project. This is, I believe, the 5th year of that. And so if you want to see me do a Wednesday thing, this last character bit is... the premise is, what if a guy who was not me had to use this room for important Zoom meetings? It's a pretty simple premise. I think it's pretty funny. Check it out if you missed it. The new one that's coming out for this Wednesday is my clean slate. So if you like lists of ideas that I didn't end up using since the last time I did a clean slate, then check out the next one. It's pretty good. And I have some ideas for future videos, of course, which will be good. All right, we're going to talk about some manga, and then we'll talk about some anime here. I do need to, before we do that, I have to drink some water because I am in need of it. I can feel it. And then we're going to get started with this new kit. Start working on the Heindree Sturm in just a second. But first, it's Aqua time, so let's do that. And we'll dramatically transition back to the overhead right now. All right. We're going to start a new kit here. We're starting with the head, so we'll have some stickers immediately. But now we're going to talk about some manga. These have long titles. The first one that we're going to be talking about is the 6th Loop. I'm finally free of auto mode in this Otome game. And the second one is the hero marries the sage. After becoming engaged to a former rival, we became the strongest couple. And what's going on here, Pat? These are both reincarnation stories. Are they both isekais? No. Only one of them is an isekai. And it's the first one, because you saw Otome game. If you're unfamiliar with this subgenre within the subgenre, Otome games are dating games. It is often, particularly in this era of isekai, if a woman is being reincarnated or summoned in an isekai, it is generally not as an action hero, a traditional action hero, I should say. It is often they are the villainess or the main character in a dating game anime, which are not chill. You know, sometimes they're silly, but the actual Otome games are usually like there's some sort of adventuring system, which is often half-assed, but there is something, there's some romance, there's intrigue, there's sadness, there are bad endings, there are okay endings. Often the villainess is not a fully fleshed character because they are there for the plot to go. There's an anime coming out this season that is a girl gets reincarnated into an Otome game, and her favorite character was the villainess. So she's just there to flirt with the villainess and therefore change the villainess's whole fucking deal. All right, we got to put I wanted to see how these fit together before I put on the sticker. They fit like this. We got nice clear purple. We're going to put, I'm going to zoom in a tad here. We're going to put a sticker on here, and then we'll see why. So, the twist on this one is the 6th loop. Finally, I'm free of auto mode in this Otome game. So imagine this. You've been reincarnated as the villainess in an Otome game. Shit. Well, you can just change the world, right? You can just change how things happen. No. You know you're in a game, but you have no control over what you say and what you do. So you are just watching in first person the events of the game happen over and over and over again as all 5 endings in the game happen, none of which are good for you. Because this game did not have a bad ending for the villainess. Every ending was bad. There was no, there was no like handshake ending. And she's fucking suffering through this. This is not her fault. She is not control of this character. She cannot make these, she cannot change her fate in this instance. And then the 6th loop happens. And our main character is in control, suddenly, can change things. And the game drastically changes. She's aware of things. There's a few moments in it that for plot reasons, she's like a little forgetful of certain things. I think it's like stuff that happens in like the first loop, because like the most recent loop, she's the most aware of everything that happened. But some of the other loops, she's a little off on. And that feels to be plot related more than character related. That's frustrating. But overall, it's enjoyable to watch her like, and her struggles are still there. Having the knowledge doesn't mean that she can like, immediately fix things. She is aware of some of that shit and she can prevent some things, but she can't like fully turn human hearts and minds, right? She can only just try to prevent her issues, and then also is caught off guard by cascading events that happen. And there's romance, and I think it overstays its welcome. I have not finished the series. I don't think it's done. I'm way behind on it. I eventually was like, yeah, I think I'm good with this. Like, I don't remember where I left off. I read enough of it, way more than I normally would, because I was certainly into it, but it kind of like, once the first several hurdles were overcome, I was like, okay, well, that was good, but what else is out there? So this doesn't come with my highest recommendation. If you read every isekai that exists, you should check this out. If what I've said here appeals to you, the 6th loop might be something that you want to take a look at. But it's not, it's good. It doesn't have the humor of some of these types of stories, but it does, the loop aspect is interesting. The idea that like they're, having to observe these bad endings over and over again and go through all of them before you get to be in control is interesting. So I would say, yeah, let's take a look at it. I had a good time with it. Putting some stickers on here. This kit, only 3 parts for the head, which is neat, but 3 parts, 3 stickers. Not my favorite. But 2 of these stickers are just for the back, so if I fuck up, who would know? Who would ever know? I mean, I would know. This is the problem with starting a kit in the second hour is immediate stickers. But yeah, we should be good there. But again, nobody's going to see those. I'll know they're there, but nobody else is going to see them. All right, let's put this together, and then we're going to panel line this gray. This kit, I believe, is only going to need, I'll use some gray, because this is a very light gray here, so I'll probably hit this with the gray marker instead of the black marker. I'll do a test on it with the gray marker and see if I like it or not. But I might actually just use black for all of this. I don't know yet. I do like using gray on the white or off-white or the lightest color on the kit, but I don't always do that. And then for the darker colors, I will hit it with black, but I might just hit black on all this. And again, no poly caps here, so there will be some kind of part that is a heavier plastic will go in for this head to connect instead of the rubberized plastic. What's the other manga, Pat, that you want to talk about today? Well, it's The Hero Marries the Sage. After becoming engaged to a former rival, we became the strongest couple. And this is an action series. It is not an isekai because they are just in the future of the same world they lived in. This is like despite the fact that they are reincarnated and they're getting married, they're not actually a couple. They are a pretend couple, but they certainly have romantic feelings. So I could see people that are looking for romance to be a little disappointed in this because it's a little slow in that. But if you like action, it's pretty fucking cool. So years and years and years ago, there were a lot of conflicts between these two nations, and there were wars. And a man emerged who could cut through magic, and whose body chemistry was such that they could fight through anything. And they were just this impressive, incredible dude. And in the other country, had a mage who was called the Sage. She was the most powerful mage in the world. And they were evenly matched. And they fought a lot. And they tried to reduce the conflicts as much as possible. They had to fight for their nations. But neither was super interested in killing one another. Because there was always a draw. Because they were fairly evenly matched. And that progressed through many, many decades of the fighting. And then word reached the hero, this warrior, that, despite being an elf, she's an elf despite being an elf, she passed away, most likely because of all the magic she used. Doesn't really get into it. And you get to see this dude, be fucking rad. Fight his way to her funeral to pay her his respects. Not kill her apprentice. Just go through and everyone's freaking out and they're all crying. And then he's there and he's just like, yeah, no, I'm going to say goodbye. And he dies of his wounds trying to reach her. So they go pretty much at the same time. And then in the future, he's just a dude that doesn't have magic abilities. Nobody knows why. He works in a small village. He's happy there. He's a guy who does not share that he is reincarnated. He's just working he's incredibly strong, and he works as a lumberer. And there is a little clipping of all of them. They found a new species of this. It's not a squirrel, but it looks like a squirrel. And then a noble shows up. And she's just like, marry me. And he's like, what? But then he recognized instantly, it's the sage. She's also reincarnated. She's a noble, and she's been searching for him. She's been looking for him all this time, and then she found him because, of course, he had the newspaper article about this squirrel they found, this piece of squirrel they found. He's in the photo, which I think is fun. And that's like the first the first chapter is just like her finding, and then we're gonna get more backstory about them and as it goes. It is cute as they're both weirdos. Like they show, like she told her parents from an early age, or at least her mom, because her mom's kind of in charge and her dad is kind of just a strong dumbass. And they're like, yeah, no, I'm reincarnated. I have to find this guy, because if I got reincarnated, he did too. So when he shows up, they're like, oh, cool. All right, well, you boys talk to each other for a little bit, because I guess you're engaged. And then the dad, who is just kind of a musclehead, is just like, all right, well, we're going to have a fight. And they're like, oh, you don't understand. It's not, he can't use magic, but he's also incredibly strong. Like part of the house gets destroyed. So you get the lightheartedness of these overpowered characters. They go to school. Hey, is there somebody in school that is fucking pissed off that this no magic commoner is there hanging out with like this noble, beautiful noble? Of course there is. Do they immediately make friends with some of the class weirdos? Like at least one other. I think that their friendship is another commoner who's there on like who's of course there I believe on scholarship, and then there is a noble, but she's like a noble from the sticks, so she's not liked by their nobles. And just like immediately, hey, there's new friends, and also people who are just like, you cheated to get in here. And it's like, what? Like, oh, well, then fight me. And it's like, okay. Like, immediate. Like, is this noble? There's one of two ways for this shitty noble, right? The shitty noble is there to, one, be a constant, like, easily overcome problem, and then eventually comes around and understands and, like, grows as a person. Or two, gets used by actual villains in the story and gives into his dark temptations and becomes a whatever. Like, those are the two ways this goes. And it's still early in that, and I don't know which way it goes, but it's going one of those ways, because of course it is. But I can tell you that the hero marries the sage is lovely to read. It's very well illustrated. It is a pleasant read in that regard, but it also is just like fun. It's a fun little series, and then it's cute because they're like they're happy to be reunited because they always had affection for one another, but also they're both like neither of them had children or relationships, so neither of them are like sure what to do about the fact that they're engaged, and do they have to pretend, but also are they pretending? Are they just happy to be together? And then it is promising that, or the series itself is promising that eventually we will start embarking on understanding why they both got reincarnated, right? Why are they reincarnated? Why are they here at the same time? Is it just for them to be together as some sort of thank you? Is it because there are other things coming in the future? We don't know. We don't know what's going on there, but eventually we'll have the opportunity to see, I think. So yeah, I recommend. It is nice. Hero marries the sage. After becoming engaged to a former rival, we became the strongest couple. I think it's good. Zom 100. I'm not going to go into super deep detail about this one. This is episode 9. Last episode, we got introduced to Beatrix. She has joined the party pretty much immediately, which was weird. She is a German girl who is an otaku who was there as well. So Akira, Kensho, Suzuka, and Beatrix They're trying to reach Akira's family. They're trying to find the area there's in. They get near Gunma, but that's barricaded, and there's a lot of zombies in the tunnel there, so they're definitely in trouble. And then a good portion of this episode is them finding an old man named Kamino, who is being chased by a zombie boar, which is, man, when zombie animals show up, it's always fucking awesome in this show. The zombie shark, I'm reminded of. The zombie boar also looks cool. It is neat when there are zombie animals. That's always neat. It's always well done in this show. Even if it's not the best CGI, it's still good. Kamino is like, hey, check out this treehouse I'm building. It's not a bucket list per se, but it's similar in that, like, this is a thing that he wants to do. Akira's like, we gotta help this guy out. So they do, and that's, again, a large portion of the episode is them helping out this old man build a treehouse in the zombie apocalypse, which is fun, and you get some character interactions, and it's a nice little time. So, you know, it's cool. I like it. And then they're out, and that's the end of the old man for now. Who knows? Then they get to Akira's home village. They reunited with Akira's parents, and he's feeling a way. Like, he doesn't feel like he can properly thank them for all they've done. He's been distant, of course, because, you know, we know in the first episode where he was kind of like too busy working at the black company that he was at that he couldn't really like be like a present person in their lives. And yeah, so he's feeling conflicted about all of this, but it's going okay. And then also we know, but they don't know, hey, it's trope time, everybody. As if this thing wasn't built on tropes already. Akira's dad got bit by a zombie and will be a zombie at some point, which obviously is going to be tough. And even though they kind of like we've already seen Akira like occasionally just, you know, deal with the reality of his situation, he's still been pretty happy-go-lucky here and there. So this is going to be a real test of that, if he can like deal with this pretty fucking heavy situation of his dad. And then also in the village that they're in, there's another group that also have a bucket list, which is, I was not expecting. I'm talking about tropes here, you know, the hidden bite mark. That's a trope. The rival group that is doing the same shit was something I was not expecting to come across. So we'll see what that means, what that entails, what that is going to be here. I don't know, but that's kind of interesting. And again, that's a pretty like basic thing. The fight with the boar was over pretty quickly. There were a lot of zombies, but there weren't a lot of zombie fights in this one. And then also, like I said, a lot of time was building that treehouse shenanigans and kind of conversation. But it was still good. I would love more with Beatrix. I feel like she got added and like she got like a little bit last episode, but I would like a little bit more. And the fact that they were running into new characters could be an opportunity to delve into her character a little bit more. But like right now, there's not a lot going on. I don't love that. I would love there to be a little bit more. I am breezing through this kit because I have built a Heindree before, and the Heindree and a lot of the grunts here, they just you're building the chest and the waist basically at the same time. I am going to panel line all of this now because I'm going to be putting a chest piece on over it. So some of these parts are not going to be super available, and some of them will be covered up by it. But even if they're covered up, it'll be a lot easier to get at this because this is going to cover Well, it doesn't cover a lot of it. You know, I can just put this on. I've talked myself out of it. Yeah. Yeah, they're still there. I should test right now, friends. I should test if I want to do light or gray on the gray or black on the gray. And we'll do it on the back piece here because this is going to get covered on the backpack anyway. So we'll do one in gray and one in black, and then I'll look at it. While I am doing that, I would love to hear from you. What are you watching? What are you playing right now? What's out there? What's got you going? Any TV? You go to the movies over the weekend? Watching football? Watching that game that just seemed like an unbelievable blowout last night, like a ridiculous score. Are you playing new releases? Are you playing old stuff? What's got you going here? Lastbrook says, I'm looking at what Right Stuff has on sale. Oh, yes. Right Stuff with one F, as you may be aware, we talked about this on Saturday. They were purchased by Crunchyroll and now are shutting down and just being folded into Crunchyroll's online store. But right now, before that goes into effect, they are having a sale, a thank you sale. Lashberg says, I gotta say, Aniplex needs to go to jail for their Blu-ray prices. Yes. So I will say this about Aniplex. The Aniplex stuff does have a lot of good bonuses. There is some good stuff to be found on there. You're gonna get like some OVAs at the end of stuff. You're gonna get like there is gonna be things in there that are like pretty neat that might surprise you. I will say, if you are going to buy anime DVD, when you say Aniplex, I hear the Aniplex, yeah, intro in my head. So the brand is strong, totally. I will say, if I'm gonna buy a Blu-ray, one, I'm probably not gonna buy a Blu-ray. I'm just gonna watch streamers. But I will say that Sentai Films, which is the store for High Dive, Sentai Film store, isn't the best in the world, but like it's got their prices are okay. Most of the time, I'm looking at Amazon for lightning deals. Really, I'm just like following releases using Honey and stuff to kind of track stuff and things like that. But yeah, I still also don't want to buy Blu-rays or games or anything like that. Definitely don't buy video games from anime stores. If it's an anime video game, don't buy that there. Just don't. You're better off. But yeah, if you want to have all of Lupin Zero, which is the precursor to Lupin, you can get that for $78 on Blu-ray, but that's still like, you can get all 13 episodes of Light Dress Recoil for only $120. Yeah, like I said, I would say, we're just gonna use black for everything, friends. I would say don't buy anime Blu-rays from anime streamers, retailers. You're gonna want to look for online deals for Blu-rays if you're buying Blu-rays. Figures and stuff like that, model kits, no, not really model kits, but like figurines, that kind of stuff. Sure, it's probably going to be okay there. The markup isn't going to be too bad. It's not going to be good, but it's not going to be too bad. The fact is, the best reason to use sites like that, like American sites like that, is shipping, right? They got the item for a decent price for them, and now you can get it from them. Blu-rays, that's certainly a different story than, some sort of statue or something like that. But it's a lot easier to just get it and not have to worry about having to have a buy account or something like that to get something from Japan. So in some ways, it's preferable. Aniplex Blu-rays are all Right Stuff exclusives, it seems. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me either. Soon they will be Crunchyroll exclusives. All right, let me see what you're saying here. I'll go through the not, because many of you talked about things that are not related to this, and I'll go through that, games or things that you're into and up to. I will just say for myself, I started a new playthrough of Starfield. I did a little bit of that today. Over the weekend, I played stuff for tomorrow's stream. Of course, many matches, 9 matches in WWE 2K23. CPU versus CPU fights. I got 9 matches booked because a few of the matches are short. So usually I just do 8, but in this case I did 9 because, like I said, a little short. So I wanted to give a bonus match at our opening contest. Picked a new one. And then, Hearthstone. I got a couple decks I like. There's some shenanigans in Wild and in Standard. Anomalies, which just change the game state. And most of the time, those are very cool. Occasionally, they are annoying, but I had a good time. I will say, I ran into a lot of people. They were not bots. They were actual people playing who were like taking their sweet ass time. Like maybe they were just playing on their phones or something, and having but like multiple games where people were just like roping, and then right at the end were then doing their moves all at once, and it was very frustrating because I'd be like, well, I'm not even doing well in this game. Should I just quit and move on to another game? Like, get a new opponent? But then it would happen again. It's just like, what the fuck's going on here? That was very frustrating. But I still managed to get on a win streak, and I think when I stopped playing today, I think I had like 8 wins in a row, which for me is pretty fucking good. So that was nice. All right, let me get B5 on here. Let me go back to where you've been saying. John says, nearing the end of my slow rewatch of Outlaw Star. Hell yeah. Deep in some optional game Disgaea 4 grinding and prepping for some international travel. Well, John, good luck to you in your international travels. I hope everything goes real well. I hope your prep goes well, and the travels themselves go well as well. Goes well too. And yeah, I hope you finish up Outlaw Star and you like it. The ending. Ghostfowl says, did baking for a cousin's birthday. Got quite a bit of meat on the bone for BG3. Okay. And might try Payday 3 with my crew, hopefully. Yeah. We talked about that earlier. You might want to wait a bit on Payday 3 because it sounds like matchmaking is fucking bad. We did talk about that. So maybe your crew wants to play Payday 2 again. Which does not seem to be giving anybody problems. Outside of just people not wanting to play that and wanting to play the new shit. So hopefully that gets resolved soon, because that does seem bad. Let's see. Wristvan says, not much gaming due to travel, but I've been putting in a few hours into Void Stranger, a tile-based puzzle game with a Game Boy style that is going to get weird. It's also a bit anime. Yeah, I've heard good things about Void Stranger. The people you would expect, like in games press, to be playing that game have played it and seem to like it. And I was like, okay. I don't think it's something that I'm going to be picking up, but it does sound interesting. So I was like, all right, that sounds good. Let's see. Lord Crashton played the open beta for First Descendant, which seems fun in a Warframe meets Destiny 2 free-to-play game. Okay. Yeah, that does not sound like something for me, but that does sound, I hope it's a good one of those. It's a good name, I should say that. Let's see. Anyway, Lashbrook ended up watching a bunch of One Piece, and boy, Enies Lobby really drags. Yeah, so here's the thing with One Piece. Enies Lobby has some fucking fantastic, phenomenal fights. Really good fights in it. At a certain point, One Piece started adapting 1 chapter of a manga, or 2 chapters of a manga, and not 3 chapters of the manga. They started just really stretching stuff out. And yeah, you got filler arcs, but you also have just like filler parts of episodes, and sometimes that stuff is cool, and you're like, that's kind of neat. This you're filling this out and adding a little more lore, adding a little more time for these characters. That's cool. But sometimes you're just like, hey, do you not, what's going on? Is there like not chapters left? Should you take a break? What the fuck's happening here? And so sometimes it does fucking drag. Sometimes One Piece takes its sweet fucking time to do some shit. Lord Crashington finally beat the first boss in Armor Core 6. Wow. You can stop being frustrated for a bit whenever you get back to it this week. Congratulations, Lord Crashington. Sorry you struggled so much with the first boss there. I hope your future encounters go much smoother when you get to the next boss, inevitably. That's a bummer, and I'm glad you beat it though. Enislami gets to a point where they seem it's nearing the end of the show when they show character recaps before the last chunk of it. It changes from widescreen to 4:3 because that's all there was when it started. Yes, I forgot that about Enies Lobby, that they have flashbacks that they don't reanimate. They just use previous footage, which is fucking fine in my opinion. But that previous footage is, 4:3. I don't mind using old footage and flashbacks and stuff like that. But like that's just me. I don't mind that shit. So we're just using black for all of this, which I think is fine. We already completed the chest and the waist and the head on this kit. Do I think we're going to finish this kit on Thursday? No, but we're going to get real close to it. I will run a poll before Thursday. I'll probably do it tomorrow for my patrons at the $10 tier about what I build next. Because while I don't think I'm going to finish this kit, we're going to get really close and definitely we'll finish it on Saturday. Like, I don't think this is like, because we still have to build the arms and the legs, but the weapons aren't that tough to build. There aren't that many of them. The shield is like 2 or 3 pieces. This is not going to be, the shield is like 5 pieces. Okay. This is not going to be an elaborate build here. The backpack we still have to build. So like we'll finish it on Saturday. So I'll run a poll before Thursday, just because I always like to know what's on deck. I like to have the next thing ready to go so that I have the image ready for this, and so that I have I've opened the box if I haven't done that yet, and removed the plastic around the sprues and organized it, gotten the stickers out, found out if there's anything extra or weird about it. Like, I like to do that stuff, so I will run a poll for my $10 patrons about what I build when this is done. But again, I don't think I'm going to finish this on Thursday, but I might get close to finishing it. Yes, they do have 4x3 flashbacks as well, yes. It's 1 episode per character with maybe a few minutes of current stuff. Yes, so sometimes, look, One Piece should not have as many, almost as many episodes as chapters of a manga. Like, that just should not be the case. But there's a lot of filler. And that, that filler is going to fill. And then there are in-chapter fillers. Like, there's episode, stuff. Like I said, it goes on and goes on. It does not quit. It continues to be a whole fucking thing. And I think that it's fun for the ride. I will say, if you are marathoning it, if you're going through it and watching a bunch in chunks, it's not the best thing in the world, but it's still better than watching it weekly. So a thing that happened in One Piece a bunch is sometimes there would be a break of a month or 3 weeks, and then more would happen, and you would get fucking jazzed about there being more One Piece and One Piece being back, and then it would be a recap episode where most of the episode was perspective on a character, and it would just be really frustrating, and you'd be like, I waited a month for that. I know this shit, and there would be one new scene, and that would be unbelievably frustrating. Yeah, and you just have to be like, yeah, all right, well, fucking, okay. All right, fucking One Piece, got me again. Fucking got me again. At the end of this arc that we're currently in, the Wano arc, I was watching it weekly. In the middle of the Wano arc, I was watching it several episodes at once. I would wait and batch a bunch of episodes and then watch them together, especially because some of those episodes I knew were fucking sad. There was some fucking sad ass shit happening that I was like, I don't want to watch this sad episode. I'm going to wait a couple weeks and then I'll watch this and then watch a couple episodes where cool people get to fight that haven't... a character that was not in the previous arc or two arcs ago that has not done shit in a long ass time is going to get to do some cool ass shit now. So I know that from reading the manga, so I'm just going to wait until I get a few episodes till I can watch the episode where they whip some ass. Sometimes you just gotta do it. All right. I have found that this clip here, I sometimes don't put this on right because it's like, well, one goes there, but it doesn't tell me where the other one goes. So I have found that it's okay. I can always just fix that. If this is on wrong, it's easy to pop this in and out. So I'm not worried about that. I'm usually pretty fine with that. And then this. Sometimes these arms, I kind of fuck up. But again, it's not the hardest thing in the world to fix this. I'm also, at this point, pretty good at working on this kit, because the Heindree is very similar to a lot of other grunts in this in Wish for Mercury, so I'm pretty used to it now. Jokes on those latecomers since they still have hundreds of episodes to go to get caught up. Well, yeah, I mean, you know. Part of One Piece is enjoying the ride, or you can always just watch recaps. The Grand Line Review does fantastic recaps of arcs, and you can just watch that and then skip a bunch of episodes and just jump to something a little bit more modern and get caught up on there. That is, I think, totally reasonable because there's so much fucking One Piece. If you're just like, I don't need to be in this arc, but I wouldn't mind being in a arc that like haven't gotten to yet. I think it's totally okay to be like, I need some assistance in this. Okay, so this is like this. I'm having a little trouble here. This piece, I believe, fits in like this. Does that fit in like that? Yeah, that fits in like this. This goes here. This piece is on the outside. This clips in. And this piece goes here. It slips in like that. Yes, and now we have the hand that opens like that. The arm, I should say, like that. Okay. We will continue this arm as we continue working on this kit on Thursday. Reminder that while this is all fun and games, my next stream is tomorrow. And it's nothing to do with model kits. It's my Tuesday stream where I do something that's not model kit related. In this case, it will be WWE 2K23 CPU versus CPU matches. I've got a 9-match card. I've got all kinds of fun stuff. And it is going to be very good. And I think you'll enjoy it. So come hang out tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern. We are going to raid. That is how we end every stream around here. We always go and hang out with some folks doing some cool shit. And let's see. Mary Case is playing Gunbrella. I love that Mary plays games I've never fucking heard of. I have no idea Gunbrella is a indie game on Game Pass, apparently. Is a platformer. I love that. I love that for us. I love that for Mary. We're going to go raid Mary as she plays through this game. As John says, we always end with a raid. I want to thank everybody for hanging out tonight. Hope you come back tomorrow. Hope you come back on Thursday. Thanks for being here. I always appreciate it. But yeah, I hope you come into my video game stream tomorrow. Hope you come back on Thursday as we continue working on this lovely looking model kit. And thanks for coming on the stream. Good night, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.